Dems pushing impeachment because they spied on Trump. That is the topic of today's op-ed live. So National Review just came out with a report. It's also on Fox News. Mueller was seeking FBI director job when he met with Trump in 2017. Did you get that? Mueller wanted to be FBI director when he met with Trump. So they shouldn't have even chose him to be the special counsel. I'm talking about Rod Rosenstein, who is also one of the crooks there in the Justice Department. So the report goes like this. Robert Mueller was seeking to become FBI director when he met with Trump on May 16th of 2017, according to administration officials who spoke to Fox News. So this breaking news came from Fox News. I just have to tell you, Fox News has been marvelous for the past 3-4 years. They have broke so many stories about the FISA abuse and all the corruption that has been happening during the Obama administration. They have done a marvelous job. All the people who says that Fox News is just right-wing channel, please check it out. Check it out and decide for yourself. They have broken so many stories, especially regarding the FISA abuse. The FISA abuse, and I think it was also Fox News who broke the Russia collusion hoax, that the whole thing was nothing but a fabricated, nonsense, unicorn story. So it goes on. The former special counsel for the Russia investigation denied under oath during congressional testimony over the summer that he was seeking the job at the time. Robert Mueller, the former special counsel, so he investigated whether Trump colluded with Russia, right? The whole conspiracy theory that the mainstream media and the Democrats has been propping up. This is what Mueller said to the congressman back in July of 24th. My understanding was I was not applying for the job. He lied right there. He perjured himself. Would Robert Mueller get charged? Would he get prosecuted for perjuring himself? He should. He should. So it continues. One source confirmed that then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein spoke with Mueller around May 12th of 2017. So this is right before Robert Mueller met with Trump. Robert Mueller met with Donald Trump on May 16th of 2017. You got to remember this, okay? And now, one source confirmed that then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, Rod Rosenstein also got out of Justice Department, right? He couldn't stay there because of all the shenanigans that he's been doing, all the crooked things that he has been doing, okay? So Rod Rosenstein, by the way, it was Rod Rosenstein who recommended Trump to fire James Comey. So Robert Mueller shouldn't have been chosen to be special counsel in the first place. This is all just nothing but nonsense, kangaroo court stuff going on here. All because they just hate Trump. They're suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. So Rod Rosenstein spoke with Mueller around May 12th of 2017. So this is 4 days before when Mueller met with Trump. Mueller talked with Rod Rosenstein first, okay, regarding the possibility of appointing Mueller as special counsel. So Rod Rosenstein was thinking about choosing Robert Mueller at that time to be the special counsel. So Mueller was said to have considered taking the post of special counsel only if he was denied a post at the FBI or Justice Department. Did you get that? So he wanted to be the FBI director. If he was chosen to be the FBI director, then he didn't want to be the special counsel. Of course. That goes without saying. If you're chosen as FBI director, how can you be FBI director and also special counsel at the same time? It's just ridiculous, okay? So this guy, he's also a crook in my book. So it continues. The boss and his staff do not know about our discussions. Do you see this? The boss and his staff do not know about our discussions, Rosenstein wrote in an email to Mueller, released after a request by Judicial Watch. So Judicial Watch is one of the most honest nonprofit organizations out there. They're breaking stories left and right regarding Hillary Clinton. I think they're getting a bunch of emails that she tried to delete it. Judicial Watch, okay? Don't believe in New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, or even LA Times. Judicial Watch is really being honest about all these reports. The Hill, Fox News, okay? Daily Caller, NYT, WAPO, all these papers and media outlets, they're all nothing but fake news at this point. So the boss and his staff do not know about our discussions, Rosenstein wrote in an email to Mueller, released after a request by Judicial Watch. So Judicial Watch told the Justice Department, hey, you got to release all these stuff. You got to release it. So the Justice Department had to release these emails, and in one email, Rosenstein wrote to Mueller, the boss meaning who? Donald Trump, right? President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump and his staff do not know about our discussions. Look at the heinous things that they have been doing. So Rosenstein's boss was then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russia probe, which suggests that President Trump would also not have known about the conversations. So Rosenstein and Mueller, they were both being very sneaky about this, okay? So Mueller was waiting whether he was being chosen to be the FBI director, okay? So this whole thing happened before he had an interview with Donald Trump. You remember that? When Trump kept saying this is conflict of interest, that he didn't hire Robert Mueller to be the FBI director. Nobody would have. Did you see his hearing? He's dumb as a rock, right? If you watched his hearing. He didn't even know what Fusion GPS was, okay? He didn't even know how much I know about this whole Russia collusion nonsense, okay? So this continues. So he was chosen to be special counsel by Rod Rosenstein after he was denied the position of FBI director. Who got it? Christopher Wray, right? So it continues. The boss and his staff do not know about our discussions, Rosenstein wrote in an email to Mueller released after a request by Judicial Watch. Rosenstein's boss was then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who had recused himself from the Russia probe, which suggests that President Trump would also not have known about the conversations. So I just repeated this, okay? So President Trump denied Mueller the FBI post, which led to his appointment as special counsel for the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election campaign. Trump has accused Mueller of bias against him after his refusal to appoint him FBI director. If you were Robert Mueller, wouldn't you feel also bad about it that you were passed by? Wouldn't it give you that much incentive to try to dig up dirt on Trump? And by the way, they also had a dispute regarding the golf club. I believe it was in New Jersey. Golf club fee. So Mueller, I think he didn't want to pay the yearly golf club fee because he had to move somewhere. But Trump said that's not going to happen. You got to pay up. So they had this kind of a legal dispute. I think Trump won on that one, but that's another point why he shouldn't have been chosen special counsel in the first place. And you know what? They shouldn't have had special counsel at all, because this whole Russia collusion thing was nothing but fabricated by the Democrats and the Hillary Clinton campaign, right? The Mueller probe eventually cleared the Trump campaign of allegations of conspiring with Russian officials to steal the election. Okay? You know that, right? He was cleared. No collusion and no obstruction. They declared it, the Justice Department, okay? However, Mueller indicated that certain officials may have been guilty of obstruction of justice pertaining to the investigation into the campaign. They said there's 10 possibilities, right? That was according to the Mueller report. But nothing came out of it even after that, right? The House took over again to try to investigate more, to dig up more dirt about this ridiculous Russia collusion nonsense, but they couldn't find anything. So now they were trying to find process crimes, right? This is how crooked it is. You're going to find a bunch of process crimes if you prosecute anybody of some fabricated unicorn nonsense. And that's what NYT and WAPO was doing, CNN. Oh, Paul Manafort got charged. Breaking news. Really? What did Paul Manafort get charged for? It was definitely not about Russia collusion, right? It was completely something else, right? it had something to do with his tax issues. So this is huge. This is big news. I think Robert Mueller, he's in trouble. I'm not sure whether the Justice Department is going to charge him, because William Barr, the new AG, he's not new anymore, but William Barr and Robert Mueller, they're buddies, right? They go to the same church, I think. And not just that, Robert Mueller was also best buddies with James Comey, the former FBI director, the disgraced former FBI director. So that's why that was also another conflict of interest. If it was the other way around, that like Obama was to be investigated by the special counsel and they were all buddies with Trump's friends and all that, wouldn't there have been a huge outcry in D.C.? There would have been fireworks everywhere in Washington, D.C. if they would have done that. The hypocrisy is just unbelievable right now. And Elizabeth Warren, she lied. She lied, right? She said that she was let go of a special need teacher position, I think back in the 80s and 80s or something like that. She said that because she was visibly pregnant. But later, that came out to be a lie, false. It was a lie. She lied about it. Because somebody digged up her video clip back in 2007, and she was saying that she didn't have enough certificates to get that job. And there has been another document that came out, and it showed the school actually offered her a job. So what she's saying, it doesn't make sense. And when a TV reporter asked her that question, hey, how come your statements are going back and forth about this whole thing? She was trying to double down on it, but you can't double down on a lie, right? So I think Elizabeth Warren, I don't think she's going to be able to beat Trump. I do think Joe Biden is going down because of the Ukraine thing, the quid pro quo thing. I think he's out. In my opinion, I think he's out. Elizabeth Warren is getting momentum because of all the lies that she had spreaded regarding her special need teacher record, and also her lying about her heritage being a Native American. She even wrote a cookbook about it, right? Being a Native American. I think those two things are going to hurt her. And if you look at the Democratic debates, it's all nothing but a charade. They never asked her one question about Elizabeth Warren lying about her heritage. Why did she claim to be a Native American and get all those benefits? When she became Harvard professor, Harvard Law School professor, she put her native as Native, she put her heritage as Native American, right? And this is what the Democrats are doing all the time. They're doing all the lyings, all the shenanigans, all the fabrication, but they accuse the other side of the same thing that they're doing. The Russia collusion is the same thing. The Ukraine scandal, it's the same thing as well. The spying thing, right? Okay, so I think Hillary Clinton, I think she's really seriously thinking about, entering the 2020 presidential race. I'm not sure. I mean, this is what came out on the Drudge Report. I can beat him again. That's the title. Okay, with Hillary's face. So Daily Mail is also a good site. Crooked Hillary should try it. Donald Trump dares Clinton to enter crowded Democratic presidential field a third time after she claims she could beat him again. Okay. Trump tweeted that, and then Hillary tweeted him back. Don't tempt me. After he jabbed that she should challenge Elizabeth Warren, but only if she came clean about her email scandal. Right? You guys all know that, right? After getting subpoenaed by the United States Congress, she deleted 33,000 emails. That's some criminal stuff. Hillary previously had said she won't run for president a third time. But she said Tuesday night on PBS that maybe there does need to be a rematch. I mean, obviously, I can beat him again. Really, Hillary? You can beat Trump? You got hammered back in 2016. Trump got 306 electoral votes. And how much did you get? You got 223, right? That was a huge landslide win for Trump. And I believe if there's a rematch, I think Trump is going to win over 400. So Clinton lost to Trump in the Electoral College that determines American presidents. She collected more votes overall by running up the score in liberal California and New York, winning bragging rights, but constitutionally losing the election. Now that's so funny to put that winning bragging rights thing. So let's check out some news headlines and also some Twitter feeds. Let's go one by one. So this came out yesterday, Drudge Report. Trump tells Dems to shove it. War on impeachment. Illegitimate. Right? It goes without saying, right? The whole thing was it's a sham. They didn't even hold a vote on it. So why do Trump have to comply with all the investigation? Of course not. He's not dumb. He has his legal team. And by the way, Trey Gowdy is also in his legal team. So Trump is all lawyered up against this scam. So let's move on to the next page. So this came out, I think, this is from Washington Examiner, which is also a reputable paper. So look at that. Whistleblower had professional tie to 2020 Democratic candidate. Okay, the first whistleblower, I think. Okay, let's move on to the next page. So Trump tweeted this: hasn't Adam Schiff been fully discredited by now? Do we have to continue listening to his lies? Of course, we don't. We do not have to continue listening to his lies, unless you listen and watch the fake news media out there. Adam Schiff is nothing but a disgraced congressman. It's a shame that we have to see him so much on TV, just barking, spewing lies over and over and over again. Especially regarding the phone call between Trump and Ukrainian president. He completely fabricated the whole thing. Even ABC's George Papadopoulos called him on that. Okay, let's move on to the next page. So Trey Gowdy joins Trump legal team. By the way, Trey Gowdy, the former congressman, the former Judiciary Committee chairman in the House, he never lost a case when he was a prosecutor. There has been some report that he won more than 100 cases. I'm not sure about that number, but I do know that he never lost a case. Okay? So Trump is all lawyered up. So Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, tweeted this: overturning the results of an American election requires the highest level of fairness and due process, as it strikes at the core of our democratic process. And this is coming from CBS Evening News. This is showing how corrupted United Nations is. Where is all the money going? Don't you all kind of wonder when all the countries, especially the United States, give a bunch of money to United Nations, where that money is going to? Where is it going to? Is it going to Red Cross? I mean, don't you want to know? United Nations has to be audited. So here, the United Nations is running a deficit of $230 million and may run out of money by the end of October. Secretary General Antonio Guterres says in a letter obtained by CBS News. So United Nations, they're having some financial trouble. Let's go on to the next page. So Charlie Kirk, the president for Turning Point USA, which is a marvelous nonprofit organization out there. What is liberal privilege? It's Barack Obama holding a rally in Minneapolis Target Center and only being charged $20,000 for security from the Democrat mayor. And Donald Trump being charged $530,000, almost over $500,000 for security from the Democrat mayor. This is completely unfair, right? Utterly not ridiculous. Okay, let's move on to the next page. So John Durham, United States Prosecutor John Durham, I think he's going to change the United States. I think he's going to I think he's going to arrest all the deep state figures that has been fabricating this whole Russia collusion nonsense and have been wiretapping Trump campaign. You know, I think Trump Tower, I believe Trump Tower was also wiretapped as well. Who said that? Former NSA director Mike Rogers. So I take it for his word. So John Durham investigation into origins of 2016 Trump campaign surveillance expands its scope. Whoa. I can hear the deep state panicking. I can hear them loud and clear right now. Even though I'm really far away from Washington, D.C., I can hear it. Okay, let's move on to the next page. So this is what GOP tweeted. Today, the White House sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats slamming the unprecedented and illegitimate impeachment proceedings. Retweet if you agree. This is purely a political stunt to take down at real Donald Trump. So they have been trying to impeach him since day one, since Trump got elected on November 8th of 2016. That's when this whole impeachment movement has started, from this ridiculous far left deep state side. Okay, let's move on to the next page. This is Mark Meadows, congressman, Republican congressman. Reminder that while House Democrats have spent basically their entire first year as a majority this Congress throwing aimless political investigations at the wall. Look at this. The unemployment rate just hit a brand new 50-year low under President Trump as of last month. Wow. How come the mainstream media is not covering this story, right? 3.5%, 50-year low. Obama could have never achieved this with his kind of policies. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee. Thank you, President Trump, for withdrawing United States military personnel from Syria. Undeclared wars are as unconstitutional as they are inadvisable. Those who disagree with this decision should ask Congress to declare war or otherwise authorize the use of military force. Other than that, he's saying the United States president has all the right to pull out the troops. Of course. Hey, if you don't like it, then beat Trump then, okay? I don't know. I know that they can't. That's why they are screaming impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. They know that Elizabeth Warren doesn't stand a chance against Trump. They know that Joe Biden doesn't have a chance against Trump. Okay? Michelle Obama, I don't think she has any chance either. So that's why they're screaming impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. And also there's another reason. Because of John Durham. John Durham is investigating this whole thing. He knows that this whole thing was fabricated by the other side. He knows this. And I think the deep state figures are really panicking right now. How could they not? When you have this cloud over you. So I think John Durham, he is the person who is going to change America. I think forever. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Okay, this is from White House. President Donald Trump's policies to end the crisis at the border are working. September is the fourth month in a row of sharp declines in illegal border crossings. You'll never see this in the LA Times or NYT. You're never going to see this kind of report. Or WAPO. So Mark Morgan will break down. So September is the fourth month in a row of sharp declines in illegal border crossings. You remember a couple months, May, June, it was horrible, right? The refugee crisis situation, but now things are getting resolved. Okay. Well, that's our show for today. Our show is not about left or right, it's about right or wrong. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.